Hello everyone, welcome, happy Friday. It's Stacy and I'm excited to be here with you today for Humane at Home. We are doing what we can here at Humane Society. I have my gloves on, my mask on. We're social distancing, trying to keep everybody safe, our people and our animals, and hoping you are doing the same at home. So I'm going to take off the mask so that we can make sure everyone can hear me and that I can see what I'm doing today. And Dariel's going to show you that cute rabbit while I untie myself here, because I have gotten stuck. So this is Ralph, and he is an adoptable bunny, and he is having the best time. You'll notice today that we are set up a huge spot for him, and he is jumping and beaking and doing all sorts of things. And I almost have my mask untied. Okay, there we go. So you can see he's chinning all his things. So hello, welcome. So today we are going to be talking about responsible pet care and all those things that our pets need to be happy and healthy. So if you have been following us, we have visited with some guinea pigs, rats, rabbits, cats, dogs, all sorts of animals. And while each of them might have some special needs, they also all need the same things. It's just going to look a little different. So we're going to be talking about that today. So all those things our pets need, we want them to be happy and healthy and thriving, not just surviving. We want them to be having really happy, healthy lives, emotionally, physically, all that good stuff. So Dariel, I have here today my amazing pet care bag. I love this bag. This bag is full of all those things that our pets need to make sure that they are happy. You can see we have some labels over here. What I'm going to be doing is pulling out of this magic pet care bag, and we're going to be talking about these things that our animal friends need. So first and foremost, my friends, all of our animals need the right living space. So I don't know if you can see right now how big a space our friend Ralph has. He has everything out here to have a very, very happy bunny. So not everybody has this large a setup in their home for a rabbit, but you want to make sure you are providing an X-pen for them to live in. Those cages that you might see at pet stores, they're not big enough. We want to make sure our animals have enough space, that our dogs and cats are living inside with us as part of the family, that they're providing everything you need. So we need the right living space for our animals. And of course, all of our animal friends need food and water, right? So I'm not going to give Ralph here this cat food, but every single animal, you need to make sure they're getting the right healthy food that they need and that they are getting appropriate servings. So again, I always say there's so much work that you need to do before you even ever get a pet. There's so much work beforehand, doing research. Get on Google, get some books from the library, research your pet, because not every pet is going to be a good fit for your family. So you want to make sure you're doing the work ahead of time so you can find that out before you get that pet. Look at Ralph. He has been spending the last half hour jumping around like crazy, and now he's having fun. Okay, we have in here this adorable little blanket that was made by a Girl Scout. Which one do you think this fits under? This is part of our comfort, my friends. So we want to make sure that our animals are getting comfort, that they have a nice comfy place to sleep, that they have the appropriate bedding, that they have somewhere that they can go that is just their space. So a dog might have a dog bed or a crate that is just theirs, and that's also really good. So if you have kids, that's maybe a hands-off place. So if they need to relax, that is their safe place to go. So we want to make sure they have comfort, somewhere to go, some soft bedding in our guinea pig cage. You can see Ralph here. We're going to give him, he has sheets out here. He also has soft, we use bath mats are good for him that he can lay on and have some comfort too. Okay, all right, in here we have, I love showing this with the kids, the pooper scooper. So what do you think this represents? We need to make sure all of our animals have a clean space. That is right. It is a lot of fun to have a pet, but my friends, you got to do the dirty work. So you're going to have to scoop the litter box. You're going to have to pick up the duty in the backyard, especially if you're going for a walk. Please take your doggy bags and be a good neighbor. If your animal is living in a cage like a guinea pig or one of our rat friends over here, you need to make sure you're cleaning up for them because that's part of your responsibility. They can't clean up their living area. You want to make sure you're doing that for them so that they can stay safe and clean. And who wants to live in their own yuckiness? Okay, I think we have a question.
Carly wants to know, do rabbits get cold?
Do rabbits what?
Get cold.
Do rabbits get cold? Oh, that is a great question. So Carly asked us, do rabbits get cold? Absolutely, yes. So rabbits can actually have a really hard time regulating their own temperature. So we want rabbits like Ralph here to be living inside. They are indoor pets. Really, really hot in the summer. They can get really, really cold in the winter. And so we want to make sure we are helping them by putting them inside with the family. That is a great question, because we want to make sure that they are not overheating. Sometimes here at the Humane Society in the summer when it gets really hot, we'll actually freeze like a 2-liter bottle of, put water in it, freeze it, and then we'll put it in their habitat with them, and then they can lean on it if they feel like they need some comfort. Look at Ralph. He is chinning everything. If you've tuned in last week, you know their scent glands are in their chin, so he is marking that and saying, this is my toy, and this is my litter box, and this is my tunnel, and he is going to town. So he's having a good time. All right, my friends, what else can we find in here? We have our brush for grooming. So we need to make sure we are doing the right grooming for the right animal. If you tuned in on Monday, we did some guinea pig bath for their little bum, and we were doing some brushing for them. So this would be a good brush, or you get a little rabbit brush. Let's see if Ralph would be into some brushing. He's like, so we're gonna let him know we're here. We're just gonna brush. So this will help when they're shedding. He says, what's this? So you always want to make sure it's positive. I'm going to show him this first. I'm going to let him know I'm coming. Maybe even give him some cilantro and veggies to entice him to enjoy it. But I would never, ever put Ralph in a bath. They can actually go into shock if you dunk them in water. I would never put my cat in a bath. So make sure you're learning about the right grooming needs for your pet. Okay. Oh, Ralph, what do you think is in here? This. This is a hamster ball. I'm going to put my hamster in here to get some, what are we going to get here? We're going to get lots of exercise. This, my friends, I love to talk about exercise for animals, because this is going to not only keep them happy physically, it's going to keep them happy emotionally. Oh, he's getting his, he's going to mess up my little setting here. He wants that blanket. So just like you see your dogs do, they move those to make it more comfortable. He's kind of rooting around in there. So I'm going to talk about exercise, and what Ralph is in here right now is a great example. So we have set up this big pen for him to get his exercise. So he can hop, he can move, he can jump. We get so many animals in that people say, oh my gosh, my dog is so crazy. My cat's going off the walls. My dog is being destructive. And we say, hey, are you taking your dog for a walk every day? Are you providing them stimulation? Are you playing fetch with them in the backyard? And sometimes people say, well, no. And it's like, well, whose fault is it your dog is crazy? They need exercise. Even when it's raining outside, they need exercise. So that's part of the responsibility you take on. So my friends, you need to make sure you're providing space for your animal to get out. Sometimes people say, my rabbit really isn't very friendly, and they're in their cage and they get really protective. And it's like, they need space. So make sure those needs are always being met. Exercise, exercise. A tired animal is going to be a happy animal. I don't know if you've noticed while you've been home all this time, maybe your dog is getting more exercise. Maybe your cat's getting more playtime. Maybe they're behaving better because voila, they're getting all that stimulation and exercise. Important, my favorite thing to talk about. So what else do we have in here, my friends? We have, I don't know if you can see this up close, but this is our shot. It's a syringe to give shots. So all of our animals need the appropriate vet care. So you want to make sure you're taking your animal in for regular checkups. You are taking them if they are hurt or injured or not feeling well. Make sure you're taking your animals to the vet. Ralph is having such a good time in this habitat. He is getting his exercise, and again, back to marking that. You'll notice that not only is he marking that, he is also, that's for chewing too, to keep those teeth down. He is such a friendly bunny. Ralph is available for adoption. He is soliciting attention. He loves this. And you can again see how much fun he's having in this space. So make sure you're giving your animal that space they need. All right, toys. So our animals need to play with toys. This helps their brain. We talked about exercise for their body. Now we need exercise for their brains. So I like to talk about, you know how much you love recess? Imagine if your teacher said you couldn't have recess ever again. You'd be pretty upset. You'd have a really hard time behaving in class. You'd be bouncing off the walls. That's why they need recess. Just like your animals, they need to go out and have their own recess. Walk, playtime with a wand toy for your cat. big X pen for your rabbit, whatever it is. And then you can leave them with some good toys to stimulate their brain. So just like you come back to school, you work on your math, you do your writing, that's what our toys can help do our animals too. It keeps them busy, keeps them entertained, and if they're interactive, then it even works their little minds too. I'm going to put that one up there because I don't want Ralph chewing on that because it is plastic and rubber, and that would be bad for him. So, dun, da, da, da. We have our fantastical leash and collar. So, we have, obviously, we're going to put our dog on this to go for exercise. And this leash, we always want to put them on leash because we want to make sure that they are staying safe. So we need to make sure we're providing safety for our animals. Ralph is having a really great time exploring all these goodies. He's saying, what is for me? So we want to make sure our dogs are on leash when we're walking them so that we have them under control, that we're not going to let them run off. Gates are closed, doors are closed to our little rat habitats or maybe your hamster so that you're keeping your animal safe and making sure they're not going to get out or anything's going to happen. You can see how friendly this guy is. He is amazing. Oh, you notice what rabbits like to do? They like to chew. So you always want to make sure you're providing them with healthy things to chew, or if you're giving them free roam in your house, that you're supervising, making sure cords are covered, keeping them away from things you don't want them chewing on. Because just like cats need to scratch, dogs need to chew, rabbits need to chew. So if I let Ralph around in my office, I've done this before, I have to admit it, I've let some rabbit friends hang out in my office, and I wasn't paying attention. Next thing I knew, my phone doesn't work because the cord was chewed. I did not get mad at the bunny. I got mad at Stacy because it was my fault. I wasn't paying attention, and I know that rabbits like to chew. So you need to make sure we're setting our animals up for success and not putting them in positions where maybe they get to have make a mistake, and it was my mistake. So I hear we have a question, Miss Daryl. Ooh, I love that. Paula wants to know if we can have a bunny and a cat as friends. And the answer is possibly. Yes, it depends on the bunny and it depends on the cat. So I posted a picture last week and I will post it again because I love it so much. But we just had one of our staff members adopt one of our rabbits. And she had 2 cats at home. And she was worried if they were going to be friends or not. So she obviously introduced them slowly, kept the bunny in his X-pen, in his habitat that had a safe cover, and introduce them very slowly, let them meet through the fence or through the gate. And then when she saw that there was no aggressive behaviors, they had supervised introductions. And now, my friends, they are sleeping on the bed together. They are grooming each other. They are snuggling. It is the cutest thing ever. So that is successful for that rabbit pair. Some cats might think rabbits are really fun to chase and do things to. So you always want to make sure that you're doing slow introductions. I've seen dogs and rabbits be friends, but some dogs and rabbits would not make it friends. So please, 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 you know your animal, they have strong prey drive, so you want to make sure you're checking all the safe boxes before you introduce. Okay, oh, I love this one because I think this is so important and we have so much of it right now. We have lots of time. So, my friends, you want to make sure you have time to spend with your animal. You want to have a routine for them, but most importantly, that you are spending time with your animal every single day. Right now we're home and they are probably loving it, but most often we're in school, we go to work, we have jobs, and our pets are just sitting at home waiting for us. We're their whole world. So please, please, please make sure that you're going to love Ralph as much in 10 years as you love Ralph when you take him home next week, because he depends on you for everything. So you are his whole world, and we want to make sure that we are cherishing them and providing them with everything they need throughout their entire life. And that love should be just as strong in 10 years, like I said, because we want to make sure we have it. So time every single day to do something special that your animal enjoys. Ooh, does anybody know what this is? Has anyone ever seen this? It's making a click noise. So this is a clicker, and that represents, what do you think over there? I have to get up. This is training. So we want to make sure that we are having well-behaved, good animals, good citizens if we're taking our dogs out. And we cannot expect that animals are coming to us and they know things. We have to help them know those things. And we use this clicker because it's for positive reinforcement training. We always, always, always want to make training fun and it should be positive. It should be a nice bonding experience with your animal. It should never, never be punishment or scary. I would never want my animal, whether it's Ralph or my dog or my cat, to do something because they're afraid of me. That's no fun. I'm only a source of love for my animal. So we're going to make training fun. Here at the Humane Society, we work with all of our animals, and we make sure it is always positive. Reward, praise, 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 treats, treats, treats. A real quick example, if we walk in the habitat and a dog's jumping all over me, that's not a good thing we want for adopters, or we don't want that behavior. So I'm not going to yell at him. I'm not going to say, bad dog, because that's sad. I'm not going to knee him and say, get down. I am just going to ignore him. So I might get jumped on my back for a little bit. I might get jumped on, but I'm just going to ignore, not give him any attention. As soon as that dog puts all 4 feet on the ground, I'm going to go click, give him a treat. If he starts jumping again, ignore, ignore, ignore. 4 feet on the ground, click, and a treat. So what does that doggy start learning? He starts learning when my 4 feet are on the ground, good things are happening. So we practice that. A few times with that, I can just walk in the habitat, and they're going to sit, and I'm going to give them a treat and a click, and I don't even have to say anything. So positive reinforcement training, it's a lot of fun. And these clickers, you don't have to have a clicker. It could be a word like yip. You could use a pen to click, click, click. But that's what we do here at the Humane Society, and it is so important. So I want you doing that at home too. We have one word left, Miss Dariel, and I think it's the most important one, and it is love. So we want to show our animals love all the time. And my friends, if you are providing all of these things for them, if you're providing them enrichment for their bodies, enrichment for their brains, if you are exercising, spending time with them, giving them a large enough space to live in, all of those things, then you are showing them lots of love, and you're showing them how much they are important to you and what a big part of your family they are. And that's what we want for all of our animals. So if you are at home right now with your animal, they are really lucky because they have all this time. And I want you to make sure you're doing those things, cleaning their cage, spending time doing things that they enjoy. That's the key there. You know what? Ralph does not like being picked up. Bunnies don't like being picked up. It's not fun for them. So I'm not going to show my love to Ralph by picking him up and holding him, because that's not fun for him. I'm going to show my love to Ralph by coming on over here, and I'm going to just give him a pet. I'm going to move nice and slow and give him some love that way. He likes that. I don't know if you noticed this, my friends, but he is sitting in his litter box having lunch. Ew, but also efficient. So Mr. Ralph here, he uses his litter box for lunch, and he also uses it for potty. So rabbits like to eat when they're going to the bathroom. It's a fun fact about them. So my friends, when you choose to take an animal home, make sure that you are choosing to be responsible for them and do these things and choose to care for them for their whole life, because you are their whole world. And so we have so many pets still looking for homes, like Ralph. We have some cute little rats over here even. I love showing off my rats. So I might even hear, as we go off here, I might have Dariel show us a cute little rat eating some food. But my friends, make sure that you use this time at home to take advantage of spending time with your animal, getting them exercise, getting them, oh, come here. So this, I think, is Cass. Cass has 3, oh, there you go. So Cass took the little treat from me and is happily sneaking it back in there. I was hoping he'd come out a little more, but maybe he's not. Do we have any other questions, Dariel? I think that's it for today. So thank you so much for joining us again. We will be back on Monday. It is Dog Bite Prevention Week next week. So we're going to be learning some really fun ways to spend time with your dog that is safe, keeps them happy, keeps you happy. So have a wonderful weekend and stay safe and healthy out there. And don't forget about our friend Ralph. He is ready for adoption, and our little rat friend has come back out. Bye, everyone.